you're buying a house, you may want to know exactly how long is it going to take you to buy this property. So that actually depends on several factors. Typically, what I see happening here in Orlando is that you can take between 30 and 60 days to buy a house. We may need to consider the type of property you are trying to buy, the financing that you are considering to buy this house, if this house has a special condition, like if it is a foreclosure, a short sale. Okay, so when I am starting with my clients and we're discussing how is this process going to get started, what are the things that we should consider if they are renting, what I will suggest is that, let's say their lease is coming to an end in probably 30 days, I will suggest to try to extend that lease at least on a month to month basis, so that way we can cover our basis. So there are many things that can delay the home buying process, and we are going to talk about each of the steps that we need to take into consideration before, during, and after getting the process started. So here we have number one, the pre-approval process. You will usually want to consider getting a pre-approval maybe 1 to 2 months in advance, so that way you can know how much you are approved for, what is your budget, and you can get a feeling of, you know, how the market is doing, what are the properties available during with your budget. And that usually takes between 1 and 3 days. Typically it's not a long process, especially if you have all the documentation needed to get your pre-approval. So now that you have your pre-approval done, it's time for you to start receiving the properties that are currently active on the market. I will usually set up a search alert that will send an email to my clients, and they will be able to see the properties that are coming and showing up in the market, and they can see the prices, photos, and if they really like the properties, we can start scheduling some appointments to actually view these homes. Let's say that you found a property that you really like, and sending an offer usually takes maybe from 1 hour to 2 hours max, depending on the documentation that we need to gather. So before submitting an offer, it is important to obtain, you know, some comparables that will actually let you know what is a good offer that you can send and submit to the sellers. We will typically look for homes that have sold in the area that are very similar to the properties that we're trying to submit the offer to. You can get an idea, and from there we can send an offer. The best of A scenarios, your offer is accepted. That means we can continue with the rest of the process, which typically includes finalizing your loan application with the lender, and also you will have time to do your inspections. Depending on what was discussed in the offer, you will have typically between 5, 7, or maybe 10 days maximum for the inspection period. What I called the longest process of all is waiting on your loan documents, or your loan approval, I must say, to be complete and finalized. Also, we may need to wait on an appraisal to be completed. This is usually requested through the lender. Once you receive your appraisal, that pretty much means that we are fast approaching to the final stages of the loan, and that is when you get cleared to close, which means all your conditions have been cleared and approved, and now you can go ahead and close on your home. For the closing, typically we are scheduled to go to an office. It can be to a title company office, it can be to a lawyer's office. You will be scheduled to come and sign your documentation for the house to be officially transferred under your name And this overall process usually takes between 30 and 45 days for the whole transaction to close. Now you know that the home buying process can usually take between 30 and 60 days. There are many circumstances that can happen and affect the home buying process and make it a little bit longer. Please know it's all part of the process. Eventually, everything will be complete and you'll be the new owner of your dream home. So I hope you enjoyed watching this video. Please subscribe and I hope to see you on the next one. Have a good one, guys.